Hello, good evening, and welcome to the stream. Is it all working now? It was being very weird before. Yay, it's all working. Fantastic. Okay, nice. Yeah, sorry about that. OBS updated itself, which doesn't sound like it's some kind of problem, except it was. And it just wouldn't launch. And then it did, and then it looked like it was streaming, but then it wasn't streaming, and then, oh my god. Yeah. Very, very strange. Lord Master TV. Hype, 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 and hype. With all the emojis. How the devil are you? Our mysterious benefactor. Yes, indeed. Right, that's the social mediaing done as well. Okay, that's good. Right, okay, I think that's everything. Number one, the boss, the live screen. Is the camera working today? Mostly. God, let's state my hair. I think I just made it worse. The barber shop is calling. It is. Look, it's definitely time. Oh dear. I keep meaning to just get the clippers, but Mrs. Callos 2's been making a wedding cake for some friends and stuff at work. So the kitchen's just been out of bounds for like 4 days, which is nuts. Mihalik, welcome to the stream. I'm dying. Pool is closed. They are treating the water for the weekend. I'm suffering. Oh, God. George Glass 87, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Where were we up to? Oh, yes, me griping about MA dock working. Oh, it's doing the thing again. Oh, for fuck's sake. I thought it was working. It is not. There we go. I'll have to do it this way. Game capture in AO just not playing at all. Erg. Come on, let's get some dailies done. Let's make a dent in that big chunk of XP we need. No matter how hot it gets, do not be tempted to jump in while they're running treatment underwater. The amount of chlorine or whatever they could be putting in could be way higher than is good for you. You come away with pink eye. Yeah, my weather is running rather well. Lady Sky Cannon, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Yes, tomorrow is the big Aliens Day. Yes, it is. Not today. Some people have asked me today if it's today, and I'm like, no. I know there was that one time that it was on a Saturday, but now it isn't. It was on the Friday, but that was like a one-off. The beginning of the birthday celebrations. Oh, Lord Hasta gifted a tier 1 sub to Lady Skycannon. They've gifted 384 subs. Good gravy. That's a lot. Thank you very much once again. And Lady Skycannon with the subscription badge. And all the emotes and all the fun. Bocanero executes personal Notum Harvester. Or Puccinaro. I don't know. Wooden Stains, it is me again, at your service. And diseased prisoner, because we have no imagination. Yeah, I was getting a bit miffed at just trying the uphill struggle that is MA Trader. But, you know, I kept saying I wanted to do it, so I wanted something different. Didn't want to go shotgun again. Didn't want to go PDKPs, but now we pay the price. My keeper is here hiding on tier. Oh, God. That's crashed. I was pushing my luck. Having such a great start to the game. Okay. The internal engine's gone. Our pool is usually salt treated. They increase the salinity to the point everything dies, and then they cycle the water until it's normal, and only add the minimum amount of chlorine necessary. It's less likely to cause issues with people's sensitive skin. I didn't think there was an upper limit for how much salt you can put in water, and it's still not just carry on having life in it. You know. But okay. Soto Mahoney subscribed with Prime. They've subscribed for 22 months, currently on a 22-month streak. Thank you very much for the resub, and obviously for that amazing 22 months. Good gravy. Let me just check. Task manager here. Client in the background, and that. Okay, that should catch it. Yes, greetings. The favorite Omnispy. Is game capture going to capture? Oh, it's got the login screen. And it's hanging on the. It does. It's so weird the way it does it. It gets the game when it starts and then freezes, and it just won't. No matter what you do, turn on, turn off. See, I've turned it back on now. I can see it trying. I can see it trying to hook the game. Come on. Come on, you can do it. And it only does it with this. There we go. We'll go main display instead. Right. It's a salt and lime mix. Basically, the water becomes a brine. Ah, right. Yeah, because, I mean, you get bacteria living in, well, just about any conditions anywhere, as long as there's actually water. Temperature, whatever, you know. Yeah, I'm sure they know what they're doing. It's all cool and it works. But look, the water's decided to just be one level. And not go all weird on us. Well, that's good. Yeah, because there's like extremely salty bodies of water full of bacteria that's perfectly happy with it. You know, like the temperatures you get on geysers and stuff, and there's still something that's happy to live in it. Nothing, you know, primitive life, but it still seems to be happy to live there. I like this ship, but the thing I don't like is, mate, the slightest, when you're adjusting up and down, it detects when you ever so slightly move left or right. It wobbles and it sort of freaks me out a little bit. Stop doing that! I doubt that specific bacteria lives in your average pool. Probably not, no. That's why the clans live in Avalon with all the lava. Primitive life can thrive in the harsh climates. Oh, right. So not like the hive mind of the Omni drones. Yeah, nothing says primitive like a hive mind. You're gonna go back and forth Omni V Clan in chat. He's gone, he only had 3 seconds to live. And it looks like, if not for that crash, we would have caught that one, but now we'll have to wait. Yeah, still getting around the cache. I got rid of all the weird stuttering I've been having with AO. Yeah, the way you do it is you open device, yeah, it's moving, doesn't it? Yeah, if you open Device Manager, like that, if you go to Software Devices, you'll see Microsoft Device Association Root Enumerator, and just click on Disable, and then restart the game. It gets rid of all the stutters. And it was a fix for people getting stutters in Elden Ring. I was watching someone stream a bit of it. I quite like a guy called, his streaming channel is Pathetic Wolf. But a very cool guy. And he said, oh, I'll try it, but won't that knock off my stream? I said, hang on, well, I'll try it first, because if it reboots the system, then I'll tell you. But so I did it, and it didn't need to, so. But it fixed the problem with Elden Ring for him. It doesn't fix it for everyone, but it seemed to work for him. It seemed to work for me, so yeah, not bad. So we're killing time until the prisoner is there. So how the devil is everybody? All fairly okay, etc. Apart from, obviously, Mahalik, who is having to undergo the horror that is not having a pool for the weekend. Wonder why they're doing it over the weekend of all days of the week. Mind you, if they'd have done it on Monday, Tuesday, it'd have been worse, wouldn't it? Let's face it. Oh, you feel the core of your being shift as the source makes room for a divine presence. Big Brrt, or Brrt, has reached enlightenment. Congratulations. It will be up by tomorrow. Yeah, if they'd have done it like on the Monday, Tuesday, or is it still really hot all this week for you? We had Monday and Tuesday, it got warm here. It was like 30. Here it was about 31, 32 degrees. But like 80 odd % humidity, which is just horribly warm. You can't get away from it. We don't have aircon. Our houses are not built to cool down. They're built to hold all the heat in. Because typically our climate is far more temperate and cold. So when it does get warm, it's horrible. It's like you can't get away from it. It was difficult. Yes, it was. What I can do is just check. The beginning of the stream, I think it was sort of saying it was live but not. So I just want to see, did it kind of go live but not? Yeah, there's like a whole in-between thing. So I'm going to delete that because it's like it was 4 or 5 minutes of just not doing anything. I was dumbstruck if temperatures drop under 36 before September. Where are you near? What's your humidity like? I shall Google. What's the nearest town or whatever? Madrid, okay. Your humidity, 14%. Alright, hang on. Humidity 12, I don't bloody think so. I don't think it's got that right. No, it's usually anywhere from like 40 to the high 90s. To the point where I'm like, wait, isn't 100% like basically you're underwater? Does that mean we're all fish? Or, you know, something like that? Are we all fish? We fish now? Yeah, it's a weird one. No, I like my new phone. I had a phone call on it today and it worked really well. Even on low signal, it was fine. Improved quantum uncertainty terminated. Is that quite a short buff then? No, 4 hours. Weird. And, you know, even with moochums, I still need to do all that. That's the problem with having lower nanoskills. It's not that you can't get up to much higher ones by draining, but if you're starting out lower than you would like. Let's sort some bags out here a little. I want to have like one primary bag. Shady keep, I spy with my little eye. A Lady Sky Cannon. Yeah, I think I'm going to get the veteran backpack and then just put the stuff I should be carrying around with me into it and put the rest elsewhere. What have I got? 95. Yeah, I've got enough to do it. June 06 unfortunately missed a lot of the playthrough this time. How are you finding the MA trader life? Yeah. We've only been traders since about level 202-ish. It's hard, man. I'll be honest. It's a lot of aggravation compared to just doing a straight up, ranged trader. It feels like a lot of work and a lot of obstacles. But I'm trying to persevere with it. Rather than cave in and just go for the norm, There's a lot of faff when compared to just critting the shit out of everything with the shotgun. Yes, it is. My other, I got someone 150. Yeah, they're looking for the loots. They're obviously making a cloak. Yeah, well, I've got apart from the Sector 28 no drop, I've got the parts for a PDKP. Obviously, I would... Yeah, there you go. But I need the other bits. I need to go through some packs and sort stuff. I also really could do with sorting out beaters in one shape or another. See, that's the other thing. There's you can use artillery symbionts, The Zoop AO, hello, wise white wolf of Rubicar. Happy Friday, one and all. Welcome on in. Good to see you, Zoop AO. The itch to come back and play AO has been getting stronger again recently. If I watch a stream for too long, it might tip me over the edge. Well, yeah. I do hear that a lot, though. Yeah, I've got 1780 and 1786 in Psychomod time space. So, yeah, just upgrading symbionts would mean I could, start a fight straight into nanite improved instead of having to use nanite enhanced to climb up to it. There's nanite improved. Yeah, it gives you a lot. George Glass, I will play with you, Jun. Yes. Shano, welcome to the stream. I mean, some of this gear is really out of date now. Left wrist multi-range shiny. Quality 100. That kind of needs an upgrade. Yeah, the gear on this tune is not great, so it's not helping the situation at all. Zoop AO, oh Lord Hasta gifted a tier 1 sub to Zoop AO. They've gifted 385 subs. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, it's yeah, I think if we do the beaters next level, which should make them fairly easy to put in, 217, it's usually quite doable at that point, then I think we'll see a big uplift in how hard or easy it is to play the character. As well as that, we are way, way far behind. I mean, God, some of... there you go. Sensitive negotiations perk research light. I haven't even started. Look, there's a load there without even... in nano skills, just in that one line. A critical increase of 5 at the very end of that one. So we're leaving a lot on the table still. Do you have a favourite class in the game if you had to choose? I don't, to be honest. Maybe NT? Although, no, maybe Keeper. Yeah, but then again... I don't know. I think I can't honestly say I've got a favourite. There's a lot of research. Yeah, I think as soon as I'm going to go to start that line, after, you know, handing in dailies. And I think just completing one regular Inferno mission would, you know, bump a lot of that up. And hopefully, if I don't die too often at the alien event tomorrow, yeah, I should gain a bit more again. Yeah, problem is, you see, I've been going to those AI events and just absolutely munching through XP so damn fast, it's kind of silly. Flag spike for the win. Should be fighting me. He should be fighting the keeper, hitting him much harder and much more often. We got the keeper tier 2 shoulders from daily reward. Yeah, nice. Took me forever to farm those. Getting the right parts and oh god, the pain. We have a shady much. No, Advi. Melee Advi as well. I think I bought Umbral Wrangler, but I can't cast it yet. Was that it? Just thinking then, I should be running that all the time. It's not it there. 217, one more level. And I didn't bother getting the lower versions. We are hitting fairly hard. On Rubicon, I'm getting like 5k crits nearly every hit, but yeah, one more level, do the beta setup, and then see where we're at from there. Yeah, I'm doing 3-7 crit with fist and a 5k crit with the stick. It's quite easy to tell as well because one is melee and one is energy damage. So now the stick is doing more damage than the fist. It's kind of the other way around before. Right, pew. Yeah, shoulder keeper pads. No, keeper shoulder pads. Definitely one of the nicest armor looks in the game. I think. We'll leave that. Right, we are going to Enigma. Yeah, Enigma farm and on. Oh, we should check on Stellar Bonds. Nope, nothing for you. Yeah, so lots and lots of research that needs to get taken care of. And the best way to do it is just grind. Simple as just grind your way through it. What I haven't done on this character, what I've tried to do, more accurately, is not play unless it's on stream. And so in the evenings I might spend 2 or 3 hours playing, I don't know, Fallout 4 again with loads and loads, you know, just more than anything, just experimenting with mods. Rather than putting something up on the second or third monitor, you know, and watching a few episodes of Trek while I do a couple of Inferno solo missions, which helps take care of a big chunk of research early on. Especially if you go, you know, you just go, right, 100% research and kill everything in the mission, so... After we've done these dailies and handed them in, I'm going to go... I think the first line, even on like 1% research, you would still cap the research, or 10% you should cap it until about 3, and then you need to move the bar across. So I know you want to play MA Trader your way, but I've been doing some research, and the issue is there ain't much physical and knit and martial arts gear in the game. This means 2 distinct things. 1 crit scope of any variety will be hard, yeah. And you'll have about 300 attack rating less than with grenade or pistol, and about 550 less than with a shotgun, yeah. At least the overflow goes into normal XP now. It does, yeah. If I'm to make one recommendation and no other, try to max your light infantry perk over the nano comp. Yeah. We could try that. Where are we at on that? I'm on light infantry 4. So swapping it round would mean I wouldn't even get that nano feast attack, but yeah. Yeah, going shotgun would be fairly straightforward, and we'll be using a PDKP by now. I'm probably hitting an awful lot harder than we currently are. The ranged energy, well, anything outside of... Like if you look at ranged weapons, shotgun's the lightest colour, then pistol. Everything else is dark blue. So, grenade, ranged energy, it depends on the weapons available, doesn't it? What you can find with high crit on it. I got told to PvP hot swap to lightsabers. I don't know. I don't really PvP, but you can get more crit out of higher crit damage out of the new weapon. I'm not sure that melee energy is better for PvP or not. It might be, but I wouldn't have thought so. Because you've got the dot as well, haven't you, with that weapon? I mean, with Keeper, you could max both melee energy and two-hand edge and still have IP left over. And it's not like you need to cast during a fight, except for maybe Eumenides when you recast Ward. Other than that, you never really need to, so... Thing with grenades, you get extreme pred from Engies or heavy artillery from soldiers. Do they stack? I don't think they stack, do they? Or do they? They might do. Not sure they do, but they might. Yeah, Savik gets like 6k crits with her setup, but she has a lot of crit. On my keeper, I'm hitting, I think, pretty much 4k every hit and 6k crits. So I don't think the melee energy is going to be better, but you're going to need a lot more crit, I think, in PvP to make it work. Versus PVM. Because there's a lot of crit resist items, as far as I remember. Like NCUs and all sorts. Critical decrease items, rather. Those, I don't think you can call them crit resist, but they kind of are in a way. I'm sure people wear things like that in for PvP setups, but I don't really PvP. I haven't for a long, long time. Pre 18.7, so much changed after that as well, so. Well, you can still have all the perk lines. In fact, I do have all the perk lines for melee energy on my keeper, and all the perk line for two-hand edge. Has both. Londis, ahoy! Arr, pirate, how are they? How's things in the smoke? I'm sure they're unbearably hot and sticky. We used to be Saber plus Kia Ham. Yeah, I think so, yeah. I've seen a lot of people running around with that build. But I'm sure on my keeper I've got the melee energy perk line maxed for all the taunts and extra damage perks on it. Plus all the add damage on it. I'll show you after we get a Doja. I'll log them in and show you the perk lines I've got, but it works really well. Really comfortable to play with it. I will say I thoroughly enjoy Keeper. NT so much fun. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. It's like absolute power. Feel like the Emperor. All good. Cooler now. Upgraded the PC now though. Nice. What have you got now? Is it the big Uber now, is it? My frame rate seems awfully dodgy. Atomic Rooster is now following. Thank you for the follow. I'll slap a picture on Discord of the parts. Nice. Wow, this MMO brings back memories. Well, what else could it do, given its age? And everything else. Yes, indeed. Was it a long time since you played the game? You'll remember that's easily done, given it's 21 years old now. "21 years! God almighty!" You played it when it first launched, yeah, so that's like a lifetime ago, isn't it? The person we were 21 years ago is not quite what we are today. I wish I was. I was a young man in his prime when the game came out, and now I'm an old fart. It's still going, that's something. Indeed, that is something. It's remarkable it is still alive. Everyone said, oh, the game, it'll be dead in 4 years. And then they said, oh, it'll be dead in another 4 years. And then they said, it'll be dead in, any time now. No, first they said Star Wars Galaxies will end AO. Player base will just leave and go and play Star Wars Galaxies. And be a footnote and blah, blah. And then it's like, and here it still is. And sadly, no Galaxies. It's a shame. A lot of people really, truly loved the old game. And then Sony completely cocked it up with by trying to make it like WoW. And they said that WoW was going to kill AO. WoW will be the AO killer. And now WoW is, you know, quite definitely on the decline to its heyday. I mean, it's still got millions of players, so I don't think it's about to close down or anything, but yeah, it's long past its prime. It was just one of the first modern MMOs, so it was intensely popular when it first came out, so everybody making an MMO tried to emulate it. I mean, that's kind of what happened with the Galaxies, wasn't it? They were trying to make the system more like the WoW kind of mechanics and stuff, but pretty much everyone that was, you know, had been playing Galaxies from the start hated the update. They just... ESO was going to do something similar as well, weren't they? And then they fielded, you know, here's the next patch on their kind of like test server, and everyone absolutely universally loathed it and said, you know, if this hits live, that's it, I'm done. And not as a protest, but as in I can't play the game when it's like that. So I don't know if ESO are going to, you know, if ZeniMax, who make ESO, not Bethesda. Bethesda don't make ESO. ZeniMax do. So I don't know. I don't know if they're actually going to go with it now. They've fluffed up the whole game economy with one patch, yeah. Is that... Be right back. Scott has just gone live. Okie doke. Good for Scott. He's back with the AO things. I've seen him go live as well while he's been in Thailand, but it's been at, like, for me, like weird times of the day. Yeah, it was a mad game. The thing that put me off immediately, and I didn't get into it because of it, was I spent nearly an hour making a Wookiee in character creation, trying to get it to look good. Got into game, was walking around town going, oh, this is cool. Like, really liking it and thinking, oh, doesn't the game engine look fresh and, you know. And then there was a curb I wanted to get over to get to the other side of the street, and I couldn't, because you couldn't jump. And I just went, I'm out. I'm done. No, you can't jump. I'm done. I had to go the whole way down the street and all the way back again to where it was. I just wanted to cross the road, and I just thought, nope, I'm done. I'm not having that. But yeah, the original game, it had lots of interesting mechanics in it. You know, whether you were lying down or not, shooting, and all kinds of weird and wonderful things. Without jump, without me. Yeah, that was pretty much my take. With WoW, I can't stand the art style. Don't know why. I just don't like it. So it was kind of, you know, and then the skill system was so basic coming from AO. Like I leveled first like 20 minutes of the game, was like, yay. Okay, how do I open my skill window? Oh, I don't have one. Right. So where do I spend IP? Oh, I don't. It does it all for you. Well, why is it putting it there? I maybe don't want it there. And that was it. Don't like the art style. Don't like the core game skill system. I'm never going to like the game, am I? So I've had lots of people say, oh, you should try WoW. And it's like, I did. I don't like it. Sorry. So, yeah. I quit Guild Wars because I couldn't jump. Yeah, I bought Guild Wars. Same thing. Couldn't jump in Guild Wars. Also, my system at the time could barely run it. So. Star Wars Galaxies, a little better, but still... The best thing with Star Wars Galaxies is play the single play, the virtually solo single-player campaign parts. After that, kind of boring. It's just a clone of WoW after that point. But the single-player campaign parts are really quite interesting and fun. But you're just playing through quests and stuff within the game, so... Also, it had location discovery XP, which I liked. SWG, not SOTA. Yeah, SOTA is what I was talking about. Yeah, I know. Star Wars Galaxies is the old one. Star Wars The Old Republic is a totally different game. Oh, SOTA's still running, yeah. I played it for about 2 years. I was in a competitive raiding guild. We were ranked. Spark of Insanity, we were called. I think they're still there, but I think most of them left for ESO when it launched. So, yeah, I'd got bored of it after a couple of years. Yeah, SOTA is literally a WoW clone game mechanics-wise. I thought, yeah, there was some subtle differences, but not enough to keep it interesting for me. And the game engine was quite good looking and you know, and ran fairly well, so... Sith Inquisitor. I liked Imperial Agent, you know, with the melee ranged pistol hybrid build. It was really quite interesting to play. Because you could kite stuff and, you know. Sith Inquisitor, though. Yeah, I think I played every class. Hutball. I didn't like it. Hutball! It was like Crazy Frog. It annoyed the piss out of me. Did not like Hutball. I know they were trying to do Phantom Menace announcer guy, but that in itself was kind of a tongue-in-cheek. So sticking it in the game, one of the most annoying movies ever made, and they used one of the more annoying elements from one of the most annoying movies ever made. So no, I didn't like Hutball. Maybe Hutball with the volume, with the sound turned off. Yeah, the storytelling was good. That's what I mean. When you play through the single, like when you play the like the Jedi side, and you get your first actual lightsaber, and you get the whole, you know, building a lightsaber in the cave or whatever it is, and all that felt really, you know, I felt really important and cool at the first time you did it. But I can remember you got, you know, I had Doc as a main companion, and then we'd get to, I think, defeating the Emperor in a cave somewhere. And it was like, no, you're using your droid. Wait, what? I haven't used that droid for, like, the last 15 levels. His gear is... And they ended up putting a chest full of green gear to put on him. just to make him useful. Because so many people got the droid and then as soon as they met Doc went, yep, there you go, I got a heal pet. Done. You know. And just never bothered with any of the others again. You know, they'd complete the quest lines for them and then go, bye. But yeah, the storytelling was pretty cool, yeah. Oh, are you doing Eumenides? I'm too hot and tired to do Eumenides. It takes us about 90 minutes to clear. Yeah, with someone better than me. Oh, I did say I was going to show my perk. Go on then. I did say I was going to show the perks I had on my keeper, so I shall. It's an org team, Eumenides' paper. Okay. Can't think of anything I might want from the subway, but sure, you know, we'll go and have a look at the subway. I was doing this, was I? Okay. Go LFT what? Addo. Yeah, so the perks on the Keeper. So I've got Cybernetic Samurai maxed, which is melee energy with all the perk lines. But I've also got Reaver completely done as well. So you kind of have both. I think if my IP was just a little differently done, I could quite easily have done melee energy maxed out as well. And just left Nano in it on the floor. In fact, I think if I did an IPR, I could probably still do it. I've got electrical engineering with that, you know, so there's bits of IP all over the place. So I think if I did an IPR, I think you could do it quite easily. Oh, wrong exit. I am outside the thing. I reckon the dock in it buff would be more use, because I'll be recasting Ward, and that's 350 a nit, isn't it? When we get to Eumenides, okay. I think I'm 1-1 on it anyway. We're doing him last. Okay. What else we got? Well, I got all the HUD items, obviously, but yeah, very tanky build. Good for solo. Just, you know, toe to toe with just about everything and anything. So quite a strong build for keeper. You ever do any gauntlet? Very, very rarely. I haven't done Gauntlet probably for 3 years. I keep forgetting how long the pandemic was. It was 2 years, and I keep thinking, oh, it was only a year out. No, it's 2 years. And definitely haven't been in between any of that. So yeah, weird one, but yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, I might go all the way on MA with the trader and then at the end go, don't like it. And want to go over to back to, you know, Grenade or something. Never done before, says a Docalypse. Lies! Oh, doing all the damage again. It's nice. Going to your big tunes and doing much damage. Even on the low end, the damage with this is a little bit nuts. Yeah, I think Keeper's one of the classes I enjoy. It feels the least... it's good for streams. Because you can kind of look away and read the chat very easily without having to worry too much. Garbage critters. What would be really good is if they set the ACs and HP on these mobs so they matched up with the like say Pyramid of Home mobs or something like that. Or the Subway ones, even better, because they're quite... The trash mobs in there are just not a problem. The ones in here feel like, oh my god. Bullet sponge much? But yes, Overpower. I have done Gauntlet, I haven't done it in a long time though. I'd be very rusty, someone would have to remind me what the hell I'm doing. I seem to remember farming, we were there farming, so we'd stay on the same floor for ages. You know, just to kill everything and run around looting quickly. Trying to spawn Sector 10 bosses. There is no teleporter in the boss area. What am I doing wrong? Ooh, I don't know. I usually only do Sector 7. I don't really bother with the other ones. Or the other one, rather. Xeon Shrimp, redeemed hydrate for 100. Thank you very much. And to be fair, the mobs are dropping pretty fast. But it's a very strong team. Is that rum and coke? No, it is tea. I don't drink alcohol on stream. I do like alcohol, nothing against alcohol. I just don't drink while I'm streaming. Because I think the responsible thing to do is if you do that, you have to mark the stream as adult only. And the video going on YouTube, you have to mark as that as well. Plus, I'd just start making mistakes and swearing, so... the language, the self-language filter would stop and I'd just be effing and jeffing. So, yeah. Not really my thing. Just make a label with water on it for rum and coke. Not going to be very convincing. I need to do Gauntlet on Keeper for the shoulder. Where's Al's two? Oh, there he is. And backwards camera for the win. Yeah, the shoulders from Gauntlet are very tasty. I could do with a pair, but, you know, I'll manage. No boss feet pictures. There we go, there's his feet. You can see his feet now. And his cool fox helmet. What you got to think about the boss's feet? Are you trying to do a fashion for those feet? I recognise the pants, the helm and the cloak. The boots I'm not sure about, with the white buckles at the back. I'm not sure which fashion items, social whatever, fit those. The pants are definitely, you can get ones that have the same mesh from Mia, and the shirt. I think the helmet's a Halloween special. Quite a rare one as well, the fox one. The cloak is exactly like, you get it from Elysium. Drops off the Dryad mobs, bosses in the sort of middle bit of Elysium. But I think it is agent only. I mean, at level 100, it's not bad armor on an agent anyway, but, you know. So if you're trying to recreate that look, I think that's where you're at. But the boots with the rear white bits, buckles, whatever they are. Not too sure what they are, or what looks like them, you know. Guess you just have to try if you... you just have to spend an hour in Mia trying all the footwear out. Unfortunately, they don't have, you know, you have to buy it to try it on in Mia. Strict policy. Probably one of the leather boots. I think thread armor or leather, yeah. It's the white bits at the back I'm not sure about. But yeah, there is a distinction. They are boots. You can see the trousers. They're the leather trousers set. And then the t-shirt is a Mia t-shirt. There we go. We've analysed. They're quite stacked as well, aren't they? Right. The soles of them boots are pretty damn thick. I have to check Mia now, yeah. The pants you can get, they're just the standard black leather pants. And like I say, I'm sure the cloak is whatever it's called from the middle of Elysium. But it might not be wearable unless you're on an agent. Even in social. It's one of those armors. Do I want to pass? Yep. I think they're normal black leather boots with the buckles at the back. Could be. I don't know. Is it all I said? You know, that was one of the ones I wasn't sure. The others I kind of recognised. I should change the stream title to High Level Subway, shouldn't I? There we go. Change the stream title to match the content. And also, while we're in here, Rubicar like a little bit easier. Freak, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Hydrate for 100. The last mouthful of tea. I think the only downside of this raid is that the regular mobs don't drop anything. Well, nothing notable. I can't ever remember them dropping any loot full stop, actually. Like, whereas if you do Pyramid of Home, they can drop Pandemonium Dojas. It's quite handy. And a few other bits and pieces. I think they drop the HUD items as well. Not the Zodiac ones, but you know, like the Complit and Treatment ones. I think they can drop those as well. Seem to have that in my memory, but it has been a while since I did Pyramid of Home. Uncontrollable anger being annoying. Making you switch target. Well, okay. We'll switch target and you will die. Yeah, for the Fox helmet, unless it appears on the Funcom store, and I don't think it will, I think you're going to have to do many naughty children Halloween missions to get it. I can't think of anywhere else it drops. It doesn't drop over the birthday. Pretty sure it only drops over Halloween. I could be wrong, it might also drop over Christmas, but... And to be honest, I've never had one drop personally, but that apparently is where it dropped. I remember somebody in Storm getting it and going, yes, finally! And they'd done hundreds of these missions. Oh, you know the boss, the very first boss in this dungeon, he's got like a fox head mask with an eye patch. Someone was wanting to look at him so they could do like a social armor match. Someone did it on... when I did a fashion show with... I think it was with Soju and Scott. I think it was the three of us, and someone had that as their entry, and it was pretty impressive that they'd got it. I can't remember if they won or what have you, but yeah. I think maybe Savick won that, but she just looked so cool on the day. It was like, everybody went, yep, 10 points. It is Halloween only, yeah, I was pretty sure it was. It's funny that All Saints Day isn't really celebrated that broadly, but that's where Halloween comes from, as the night before All Hallows Eve. All Saints Day, All Hallow, you know, as in hallowed ground, etc. It's the old term, isn't it? Did we lose someone, or are they sneaking? You can get it from the ticket raffle as well, yeah. Though they're a bit of a rip, though. Those, I gotta say, I never buy the raffle tickets. Too microtransaction gambling mechanics. Those, I don't gamble. Only the premium, yeah. I think I bought one once. I went, oh right, this is like scratch cards. Yeah, it was folklore that all the goblins and whatevers would get busy on All Hallows Eve, so the day before All Saints Day or All Hallows Day. They'd have to do all their witchcraft and evil doings the night before, because they couldn't do it on All Hallows Day. That's how Halloween tradition started. It's nice, it's a folklore-y thing, and you know, I just think it's fun. You know, when I was a kid we did ghost stories round, well, we didn't have a campfire, but you know, round a little camp light, little gas lamp in a field or something like that. Christians were jealous of the heretics doing Samhain and copied it. Oh yeah, most Christian holidays and religions are all borrowed. Yeah, they all are. They all are. The Jesus story is based on a Roman god. It's widely known, but it's just never really talked about. But the story that's a couple of 100 years older than the Jesus story is exactly the same. I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head. But if you've ever... anyone that's done a degree in the classics would be able to tell you, probably. It's like saying this character I've invented, Jungle Jim, is totally not Tarzan. He's just a person raised by apes in the jungle who becomes the leader of the apes and master of all the beasts. Totally not Tarzan, though. Just exactly the same story. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Christmas Day is on the old solstice, when it was still on the Gregorian calendar. Something like that, anyway. I can't remember the exact thing. You can Google it and find out. It's the sort of thing that comes up on QI and, you know, programs like that. Yep, kill the runners, ignore the slum spawns, and go. Yeah, probably one of the best pastiches on that I saw in a movie was it Beyond Thunderdome, where he finds the kids living in the gorge, and how they've created their own culture and religion around nothing, really. And he's aware of it because he's from outside of it, but they all, you know, at the end of the movie, they're back inside, you know, one of the derelict cities, post-apocalyptic cities, going, and you has to remember as I does when I done the tell, you know, and all that. It's a very similar sort of thing. I don't know why we humans do that, but we do it. Well, if you at it like Mad Max is this dystopian Jesus story, in a way, yeah. I mean, a lot of good movies are commentary on modern society. And people go, oh, Star Trek's got too political. Oh, were you not watching the show when it was the old shows? They were always like that. The writers always wanted to tackle those issues because they're meaty and they want to get into them and, you know, that kind of thing, so... What did he drop? Paralyzing fear. Yeah, PvP thing. Yeah, somebody quoted it on Twitter, someone was saying something, and they said, well, what about this episode of TNG or this episode of TOS? You know, they were always like that. Setting it on a spaceship hundreds of years in the future was a way of getting around it. I mean, the most on-the-nose one I can think of is... I can't remember the title of the episode, but there's like a race of people. One of the guy actors in it, I think he played the Riddler in the old Batman series. You know, the sort of goofy Batman. Yeah, I'm sure he played the Riddler. He's one of the characters from this planet that's at war with, you know, with the two factions. One. And at the very end, he's pointing out, well, one side of their face, the left side of their face is black and the right side is white, and the other faction, vice versa. So, you know, and they just, you know, they loathe each other, whereas to everyone on the Enterprise, it's like, what? You're the same. We are not the same. And that's pretty on-the-nose writing, you know, so it's not exactly subtle. When Data creates his first offspring child and the child gets to choose their gender and, you know, it was all right there in front of you, so, yeah. Getting dizzy. Yeah, the first Mad Max movie tonally is quite different from the second and third. The reboot they did, I quite liked that. I thought that, I mean, the way it was lit and filmed and everything just really looked great. And was that 2015 something? No, there is quite a bit of CGI, but they did it with CGI, they did it the right way. So they filmed as much practical as they possibly could, and then only filled in the, you know, the edges and the blanks with the CGI rather than doing everything CGI. Like Lucas with the prequels did, you know, all the actors are stood in a big blue room, you know, maybe talking back and forth with a tennis ball on a stick, you know, which is much harder for the actor. Whereas what they can do now with the new like OLED and QLED TVs and stuff is they can literally have the background there and take care of parallax according to where the camera is looking between the actor and the background. And even stood on the scene, it looks like you're really there. And of course, because you just light the scene with a bit less light, so the background, and you expose like you would if you were filming for real. And then they just sort of do a bit of tidying up with CGI, which is why, like, The Mandalorian all looks like it was shot on location, and it actually wasn't. It was an amazing job they did on it. I did like The Mandalorian as well. It felt much more Star Wars than anything they've made since the original trilogy for me. It just really, really worked. Felt like, tonally, it felt a lot like a spaghetti western. You know, if you remember the old Good, the Bad and the Ugly, Fistful of Dollars, you know, those sort of movies. It felt all like that. Just really cool. And the original Star Wars really felt like a western. But in space, you know. It wasn't actually filmed on Tatooine, no, nor Tunisia, where they, or wherever it is they film Tatooine usually. But yeah, the rocks and the sand and everything around them. And the reason they said they wanted to do it to begin with was that, well, the main character in the story, you know, the Mandalorian, he says, you know, he's effectively a mirror. So if you didn't do it that way, you'd never get the reflections to look believable, even, you know, with everything. So they're using like Unreal 5 in the background. So what's reflecting on him is what you're seeing in the shot. So it's all correct. If you've got Disney Plus, and we have, you get a lot of good movies on that, you know. All in 4K as well. But yeah, they've got like a 5-part like making of where they, you know, there's a lot of round the table yab, but then they get into the practical how we actually filmed it stuff, and it is pretty amazing. When you see them actually, like, you can see where the camera they're shooting with is, and it's a standard cinematic camera, you know, modern digital camera. Is it Heights or something like that makes them? It has an almost film grain quality to the shot you take, so it looks great for cinema. And you can see where that's looking, and when that camera moves, all of the background on the screens is moving in parallax with that camera. You know, like when you're playing the game, wherever your character's head is looking, the world space on your screen is changing, and that's what's happening in real time on the screens. So for the actors, you know, it all feels completely real, like they're really in those environments, which makes it much easier for them to give a performance, you know, because they're there. But when you look at it off camera, the way it moves feels a bit, ooh. You know? Like watching, I don't know, if you've ever been, there used to be not a ride, but kind of an attraction at the fairground that used to be called Cinema 180 or something like that. And it was just like a big tent with a absolutely like half circle screen, and they would project roller coaster rides and things like that, flying and whatnot. That was really cool. So they're basically doing that, but wherever they move that, they can do it. And then they go, oh, let's take the light down just slightly on the background scene. They don't have to go and adjust hundreds of different lighting rigs. They just do it on the computer. Just dum, 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 dum. Let's just change the lighting a little bit, as easily as I change the lighting, you know, with the light command here. Only they can move where the sun is and all that kind of stuff. So for them, the continuity's easy because they just punch up exactly where they had everything, you know? Just amazing the way it all worked and how good it actually, you know, when you actually see it on screen, you can't believe that wasn't shot completely impractical. It just looks like they're on location. There's just no difference. Yeah, making of The Mandalorian, the full episode stuff on Disney is amazing. There's probably some of it on YouTube as well. But it's just like, wow. It was like when we very first saw, you know, blue screen from the original Star Wars, and that was all done on practical print. And having to do shot on top of shot on top of shot, you know, to get it to work. Whereas now, you just shoot it, and it's there, it's done. You know, maybe a bit of post-production, but not much. You know, and don't kid yourself that stuff that's shot for reals in the real world doesn't get post-production, because it do. Well, yeah, flying a bunch of people out during the middle of a pandemic to film in Tunisia would have been bloody expensive and logistically a nightmare. So, yeah, doing it the way they did, it's gobsmacking. Even when you can see them doing it, you can see, you know, you can see behind the curtain, you can see the magician's trick. You're still looking at it like, Jesus, that's amazing. You know, and you get the camera lined up for the forced perspective and stuff like that. You know, like they did with The Hobbit. They used smaller actors and then forced perspective and then double shots. So they do, you know, one pass on a set at this scale and then another pass filming the same scene on another set at a different scale to get it to all work. Again, just like the way they sort of come up with ways of fixing things and doing them is just nuts. You have to hand it to Funcom, reusing assets and recolouring them a little bit. I mean, why couldn't they make the ruin look like that? That's what they should do. When you cast the ruin, if it's the 223 pet, it should be the green one. But if you get the 220 pet, it should be the green one. And if you get the 225 it goes up to? The 223, something like that. The higher one, anyway. It should be like this, coming out in grey, with the blue eyes and stuff. That'd be pretty cool, actually. Because everyone would know you've got the highest one. Iraq, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. How the devil are you? Still feels warm, you know, even though it's supposedly it's all cooled down. It hasn't. It's still warm. It's just not as hot as it was. Yeah, it's 3 levels of ruin. The middle one could be a standard Mortig. Yeah, that's right. That'd be cool. You know, make him slightly different, but have the highest one be this guy, because he, you know, with the red. Sort of whatever coloured cells on it, on his sort of holster or whatever it is he wears, and the grey and red, kind of quite distinctive, you know, with a little bit of red in there and there, and the 3 blue eyes. Right, I'm gonna get some water. I'll be 2 seconds. Somewhat unfortunate arrangement of mob and my character there. I have the Psion. I have the Psion on trader. Not sure. 1 billion for alien augmentation device nanotechnology. I'll give you one. Don't pay 1 billion. I've got more than a few. You can, yes, you can take out. Yeah, but if I do some research, I won't need either of them. Yeah, I know it's 65 and I've got it on my NT, but I don't think I really need it on the trader. Much more use to an MP or NT. I mean, it's much more useful to them than it is to the trader thinking about it, because, like, once he swaps to betas and finishes research, he just wouldn't need it. So in those slots, you could put other stuff that's more... I'd rather let someone else who needs it on an MP or NT get it than just a simple convenience right now for me. To be fair, this is actually going fairly quickly, so... Feels so different being on this character and hitting so damn hard. Marvel's Mar is now following. Thank you for the follow. Welcome on in. We're doing the high level, the subway. Oh, Marvelous Mar. My mistake. I need a bigger monitor to monitor the stream on. Love the beard. Yeah, I kind of like the way it looks, but living with it's kind of difficult. It's like, I know what you had for lunch. Oh, sorry. Needs reining in a little bit, I think. I just didn't shave for a long time. Santa, yeah, Viking Santa. But yeah, Santa, yeah. My facial hair used to be jet black until I was about 25, and then it started getting a bit of grey in it. And by the time I was 40, it was mostly grey and only the moustache was black. And now it's just, nope, whole thing's white. It's like pepper, salt and pepper, salt. The evolution of my facial hair. Did it drop anything good? It's only got one thing. Nothing dropped. Yeah, well, you know how much I love melee characters. Yes, not at all. I think the only person that possibly hates them more was whatever that guy was called. That we did the collector, and he wanted me to sit down in the lava for the entire fight. That was just bizarre. That guy's got a briefcase. Yes. He's a crat pet, endgame pet, in fact. And he's been renamed to Gold Frap. Tried this game many years ago, but I never got past Tutorial Island. Yeah, it doesn't do well at teaching you anything, this game. They redid the Tutorial Island with a place called Arete, which makes an attempt at teaching you the game, but actually doesn't. The only way you can learn the game is talking to people that have already done it and using third-party sites. Otherwise, you know, you're going to take a long time to learn. It just doesn't do tutorial. They never did back in the day. Back in, you know, in 2001 when they made games, it was like learning the game is part of the game. Whereas what they do in modern games is, here's how to play. Give us your money. Straight to end game, straight to the slot machines, do not pass go. That's basically it. There's not much else to them. And then the play cycle loop is very, very sameish and boring as all hell to me. Like, Skyrim doesn't really have a tutorial, does it? Yeah, here is a gun, there is a mob, off you go. Here's your skill window, which is completely sandboxed, do whatever you want. Here's your perk window, again, sandbox, do what you want. Here's your research, it's fixed, although it's completed on this character. Complete them all. Here is your gear slot. Here is your clothing slot. Here are your implants. Oh, and we have a social slot if you want to change the way your character looks. At level 10, you notice mobs start to kill you. Yeah, IP, yeah. Amount of games that auto IP versus the ones that don't. It's the older games where you've got... It's the old games where you've got some kind of say-so of how your character is built and everything else. Newer games, it's all automated. What is this? Twin Keeper action? But yeah, older games where it's like Dungeons and Dragons, you get a manual that thick for a basic, campaign. But you needed someone that knew what they were doing to run the campaign. Modern games are, here you go, end game as fast as possible. And then, want better item? Put money in slot machine. Maybe you get crap. Yeah, they're awful. They're casinos. They're just built like slot machines now. They're not. There's no real game there anymore. Yeah, it's kind of shameful the way modern games are made. AO without skill resets was interesting. Yes, it was. If you buggered up your character, it was buggered. You made a new one. They at least giving people multiple chances to respec and redo the whole character is a great idea. I mean, you can even change breeds and stuff now, so very useful. Right, so the conversation in the team chat is, I got 2 keepers now, yay! Oh, we'll try and sync up on Watch Ward. So one is cycling right after the other. I go, I'm running Flex right now. Wait, what? Ask Mihalik. That's what he says. Every time. Oh god, every weapon skill on MP. Yeah, that was not a wise MP. I completely ballsed up my first character in AO as well. Back when there were no reset points, no nothing. So if your character was ballsed up, even at low level, the only way you could fix them was Like at low level, you could at least, you know, level up as much as possible and then fix them with the spare IP, but it would never be as good as a tune that was built from the ground up, because obviously there wouldn't be as much IP. Yeah, Demon Pet. Now you see level 60 agents running around Temple of the Three Winds with the demon. Level 200 pet on a level 60 agent. Nuts. There's a lot of power creep with the various expansions we've had. Yeah, I remember the Queen Blade was the end-all be-all for years. I gimped my whole AO game experience by choosing Atrox MA. Atrox MA works well. Soldier with Nova Flow crit setup. Oh yeah. Those were the days, yes. Indeed. For John Fasong has followed. Thank you for the follow. I mean, long-bearded older guys playing 40-year-old games and make a living, I love it. 21 years old the game is, but yeah, I take your point. Had a Nova on my MP for early levels. You are smart. Yeah, MP weapon skills are limited to what you can... Well, you know, depends. You could use any weapon you want, but, you know, as long as it's not class lock. But it doesn't mean you'd be particularly good with it. Crit setup, 20% crit, yeah. And we do the door jam fight. Because no one likes the Melvins. You had to be a friend with an MA. Well, I knew a guy who was in one of the first guilds I was ever in, 3305 local, and he was called Stropver. He was really, like, deep into the game mechanics and stuff. He could tell you in a heartbeat, you know, what clusters to put in an implant to change its ability requirement and stuff like that. But he was an MA doc back when that didn't exist. But it worked quite well because he had 4 Fists of Kali you could get and the crit buffs. And he, you know, he did a lot of damage. But then they nerfed being able to get 4 Fists of Kali and whatnot, and yeah. Scope and Mark of Peril, yeah. People still play this game. Somewhere between 1 and 5,000 is reckoned. Only Funcom actually have the information though, so honestly, do not know. But whenever there's like a world event or anything like that, people can't get into the zone because it's maxed out. Like the server just won't let any more player characters in. It happens pretty much every other weekend, so enough to fill an entire playfield a few times over. Then when you do the alien events, like if you get killed and you res somewhere else, you can't get back in half the time. There's too many players in that area. The thing with AO, it's such a massive game in terms of geography and places to go and do stuff that you don't see often a lot of players all in one space at the same time because there's so many other places. And then on top of which, a lot of the raid content is instanced based. So you form your raid group and then you enter, and that playfield is unique to you. So sometimes it sort of seems like, oh, no one's doing, like, I can remember going to do a pand raid. There's like 160 people on the platform, and then, you're only moving in with your team of 20 or so, or 30 or so. And then Sector 42 happens pretty much every day, which needs at least 3 solid raid groups. They're usually 12 players per boss. Sometimes you get more, but it's usually somewhere around there. It's technically possible to do with 24 or something, but one mistake and it's all over. Yeah, Instance Pand got rid of all the drama in Pandemonium. People camping, waiting for the, everything to respawn, etc. And then arguing over loot, ninja looting, and KSing people. All of that went away with IPAN. Just got rid of it. It was something they needed to address, and the way they addressed it was quite simple, and it worked. So you had your instance version of Pan. But it also meant you could do an iPand run, finish it, and then immediately go back in and do real Pand if the spawn was up. So you could get Pan done like twice in like an hour and a half. Like all of it, all the Zods, the beast, everything. Guesstimated player base is still in the thousands. Which is nothing, compared to, your WoW and whatnot, but it's a 21-year-old game. It's not like modern games, and it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's mine. So, yeah, there's not almost never any drama in Pandemonium now. People are quite, if they go in and there's another raid group in real Pand, as we call it, or the old Pand, and they're like halfway through, they'll talk to each other and say, are you doing Beast or just the Zods? Oh, we're just doing Zods. Oh, right, okay, we'll just head to the Beast then. It really is that sort of gentlemanly kind of deal, Or that civilized, I suppose they should say. Kipper coat. Real Pand is just what they started with. It was a playfield that's designed as a sort of, massive gauntlet kind of run. Not to be confused with the Gauntlet run, which is its own thing, but... the real Pand one... Well, like, for wherever the Zod spawn, there's... excuse me. There's like 3 different Zodiacs that could spawn at that point. With real Pand, that's what you get. You go in, that's what spawned, that's it. With iPand, you form the raid group. One person runs in to see if the Zodiac that they want is in that spawn, and if it's not, you just disband the raid group, reform it, run back in and get a different one until you get the one you want. So it made the whole thing simpler, easier, and more sort of quality of life, Yeah, there's less trash mobs in iPand than real Pand, but it depends. Real Pand you can get XP in, but iPand you do in a raid group, so there's no XP. If you go into real Pand in a raid group, you don't get XP either, but if you go in as a single regular team, you do. But you can't do a regular team in iPand. It has to be a raid group. So when you do convert to raid, so you got you see that little button there. When you do that, yeah, it disables the XP. You feel the core of your being shift as the source makes room for a divine presence. Eld, or Elf, has reached enlightenment. If that's Welsh, it would be Elf. But I suspect it's not Welsh, and probably is Elid. Maybe. Anyway, congratulations on 220, if you ever see the VOD or you're watching the stream. I grew up with this game, a large part of my childhood memories, with the best of my friends wandering about, no clue what to do, 20 years and 2 kids ago. Love it. Yeah, I know. That's the thing though, there's people that were playing this game 20 years ago who were like footloose, fancy free, no real responsibilities like in college or maybe school. And now they're like, they've got a mortgage, a couple of kids, full-time job, responsibilities, bills, nappies to change. You know, it's like... So we're snaring these guys that have got a massive AoE debuff. So we don't have to deal with them. Because Shackles of Obedience lasts 27 minutes. Shade got the cup daily. The cup daily's a chore, but... yeah. It takes a long while for what it is. It's much better if you get it on Fixer or something like that. Mind you, everyone should have a free Fixer that can do Team Fixer Grid. One nice thing with this dungeon though is none of the ads respawn. So once you've cleared it, you've cleared it. So running alts back in to loot stuff is relatively painless. Yeah, it takes age compared to kill one mob in Lush Hills and run back, yeah. At least you didn't get famous last words. Oh, do I hate that mission. I just so hate it. Walks in and meows. Siljar Russell, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. I will look at your meme after this boss fight, not during. Apparently has aggro. Good for me. He's still aggro. Oh, he's switched again. So, yeah, some of these cybernetic samurai perks are pretty deadly if you're not careful. There's a lot of taunt in some of them. There you go, now chat can see who he's aggroing. Not me at the minute, thankfully. Mind you, I do off-tank quite a bit on the Keeper with the build that it's got. It's definitely set up more that way. The fight I hate is the Eumenides fight, though. Such a pain in the arse. I don't care how many times I do it, even knowing what to do. It's still you can do with the Eumenides fight. You can do everything absolutely right and still fail. It's like, ugh. Whoa, Lolzir gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Thank you very much. To Blue70, to Duffster 2020, to Jojo N3, to Warped, Opinion, and to Freya Horse 66. Thank you very much for all the gifted subs. Much appreciated. Right, Siljar Russell, I will look at your meme. Or maybe we'll look at it again in a minute when the alerts have finished. Not sure if it's a cat or a cow. Right, now the alerts have gone. We can watch it again. Yeah, the patterning is very domestic cow, isn't it? Looks like a dairy cow. Doesn't like getting the paw wet, but likes the drink afterwards. How are you holding up with the heat over there? Well, I don't like the heat. I've got to be honest. Winters are better for me in terms of, you know, temperatures, etc. But you know, it wasn't as bad. I know there was a lot of mad news reports about it all. I mean, it's not. Some people are saying, oh, it's not even as bad as summer of '76. Yeah, but that was like one small area that was very warm, whereas this year it's like half the bloody globe is ridiculously warm. That's why they're getting worried now. It's how widespread it is. But yeah, it got up to 32, 33 where I live. There was other places that got quite a bit higher. Some went up as high as 40. But we've got, you know, like 70 to 80% humidity, so it's really sweaty. It's like being in a sauna. You know, you go in a sauna when there's no steam in there, and you can sit there and go, well, it's not that warm. And then they start putting water on the coals, and suddenly you're pouring with sweat. You know. Did they over-exaggerate how actually hot it is there? No, it was the temperatures of the temperatures, you know. But the difference with Britain is we're a country that's built for cold to moderate weather rather than, you know, anything else. So our houses are well insulated to keep the heat in rather than out. Almost nobody has got air conditioning except like supermarkets and places like that. You know, most domestic homes don't have it. Most houses are built south-facing to catch the sun. So Britain itself, the way, you know, it's just not built for hot weather. It's just not. But yeah, it was damned hot for a couple of days. And when it cooled back down to 20 odd, we went, oh, that's a relief. But now the 20 odd feels hot again. The only good thing about the heat is brain dead American governors will shut the fuck up about at least one topic they don't bloody understand at all, yeah. Of the many that they don't understand, yeah. I just, you know, I'm very... Let's leave the science to the scientists. That's my... You know, every disaster movie starts with a small group or a single scientist warning everybody else and everyone ignoring them. Thinking they know better, even though they are not a scientist. You know, we should kind of think on that. Just sit there and do stuck. Does that work? Does that teleport you to the start? I've never tried that. Well, anyway, I'm nearly back now. No, I didn't know that worked. I wonder who figured that out. Someone who was actually stuck in geometry or something. Does it work in the Lobby one? Probably not. Because the Lobby one, it's all one instance. Whereas the Hybe one, you've got different floors and stuff. God, hang on. Watching in real life stream from someone in the UK, got asked if he wanted some soda and ice cream by a shop owner. You get 10 person to get there for it, they could get ice cream and soda for free as the freezer and fridges had broken down because of the heat. Oh, right. Yeah, rather someone have it than it just be thrown away. Well, the ice cream anyway. Soda can get warm and be cooled again, but not ice cream. I mean, technically, yes, it can melt and then be recooled, but it ain't anything like as nice. In fact, it's kind of horrible. Yeah, I think teleporting you back to the start is to do with it being, I don't know. Because it's got, you know, like the way they changed the Biomare dungeon, Foreman's dungeon. So it was all gated. That's what they've done with this rather than the Lobby version. You can enter at the front door and run to the very end of the dungeon without stopping. In theory. In fact, by the time your character's at level 20-ish, you definitely can, because you just resist anything stopping you. Hey, you know what? We can always test it. We can force science! Go and figure out what you can and can't do. So it works in here. You can very easily find a Lobby and just run them to the bottom of the subway and try it. Old Foreman's is still there. The zones files that just no door to it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. You can dodge a couple of the gateways just by, you know, the corridor looking down over the beta constructs, or are they the alpha ones? I don't remember. But you can still jump through the glass and down there instead of running down the corridor and going through the gate. Whereas here you actually zone. Because Savick wanted to make a map update for it and said, it's weird because it's all on top of each other. But you're literally on different floors. So it makes doing it on a map nearly impossible. Or very, very difficult. Alphas, not betas, yeah. I couldn't remember which way around they occur when you go there. The first lot, basically. The first lot you come up with. But in the old days, you could enter at the front, run all the way down to Tim. You know, and people did. And they would be like level 200 doing it as well. Remember camping in there for the Tim scope at like level 75 or something like that, with a bunch of friends waiting for Tim to respawn when he was on like a 2-hour timer or something. And then suddenly like a level 200 come running in the room at the last second and just completely outdamage you and take the loot. And you'd be like, bloody... So then they put a level 100 level lock on it, etc. Some of these buffs doing, they're looking low. Oh, there's an hour on some of them. So. Sorry for doing that to you. I know I did run in there as a 200 and killed him a few times in the lobbies. You probably didn't do it to me, and unless you had a level 200 in like 2001, 2002. By 2002, I was the highbie helping lobies in there. Graces are now up to 57 billion. God almighty. Soaking up all those dodgy creds that flooded the market. Trying to sync up my watch ward with the other one and thinking, it's not going to work because the other keeper's gone. Sounds like it's time for some heavy capital tax. Yeah, there was a lot of credits created in game. One of the worst culprits has got caught, and a load of people got banned. So don't do it. You hurt the game, and you know you lose your account. So not worth it. I still haven't used the 30 billion from the last time I sold a Grace a year ago. I know, it's bonkers, isn't it? Kill the tree adds ASAP. Yes, I remember this bit. Yeah, social distancing in the fight. Yeah, if you stood, he casts an AoE dot, but if you're too close to anyone else in your team, the dots cross over between you, so you're suddenly getting double, or if you're all too close, triple, quadruple the dot, and it's a big arse dot. You're getting creds out of GMI so much, but it's a lot of faffing about, but... Yeah, 1 billion at a time, create buy order, put them all back 1 billion at a time, waiting for GMI to catch up. Yeah, it is, it's a ball ache. Putting the 4 billion credit limit on GMI solved absolutely nothing and just made things worse for everybody else. I think that was an idea that wasn't fed through the community because everyone would have pointed it out. But, you know, like always, if Funcom makes a decision, that's it. there's no like, okay, we're going to undo that idea. Well, it's extremely rare when they actually do go, you know, I think maybe you're right. Yeah, what you can do is you sell the Grace and suddenly you're locked out of buying anything on GMI. So you withdraw 1 billions at a time. And of course that goes into the mail system. Then once you're under the 4 billion, you create a buy order for something that can't be sold. Like a backpack of some kind. And put a buy order for 3 billion or 4 billion. Then put another 4 billion back in. And you can either create another buy order or you can increase the buy order that was in there in the first place. I have to keep checking my NCU to make sure I keep getting Watchward back on. It's kind of annoying that gets removed every time. It's a deliberate game mechanic. You're meant to suffer. Yeah, sell the Grace on a character you don't play and transfer it to the ones you do and move it around that way. If the mail system was instantaneous, it would be better. Here am the rot. The rot is here. Killing the ads. Okay, I've got ward back up. Wait for my morph to go, otherwise I heal the mob. There we go. No, it cancels it again once you come back out of the morph. So really you should just cast it after the morph is finished. Oh, that's a nasty reflect. That's gone now. Pet died. Pet will die every time. Pretty much. You will be recasting your pets in this fight. With Carlo, not a massive problem as long as he doesn't die too often too quickly. Like, you need to recast him during cooldown. But, yeah, have a spare ready to go. But the thing with the Eumenides fight, it's not a race. So it's better to go a little bit slower and more carefully and not die and fail, because he, you know, obviously you got to come all the way down again and start over. Concentrating or trying to. I was in POH with my box setup. My Engie got nano shut down. I had a laugh as the box program detected the level 1 robot was fine to cast. That's why I don't like automated gameplay. Not for me. I can make enough silly mistakes on my own without any help from a piece of software. Not being in green fart full time. Now we got ads and we got bloody morphs. Oh my god, where's it sending me? What is up? Any other ads anyway? Yeah. Can't get him. Got him. Okay, we're back. Ward is up. Yeah, I don't think I'd want that level of integration because I would cock it up. Even worse than I do playing, you know, manually. So it auto-selects what to cast next when you're when you're incapable of doing one. That's weird. No, like... when the pet's dead, yeah. It auto-casts the next pet. I wouldn't want it doing that. I want to decide to do that for myself and then do it. As I tell you, 10 o'clock, my son's just gone to bed, so I'm gonna have to end the stream pretty soon, otherwise my booming voice is gonna keep him up. Sounds like my Trader Box Nano siphoned himself for plus 10 nano instead of a sit down and use premium. Oh god. We're done. Yes, we are. Right, okay. I'm gonna quickly see, is anyone else streaming a bit of Anarchy online this evening? Tomorrow is Aliens. I think Scott, Scott's streaming. Okay, we go raid Scott. See how he's doing. Scott is back and he's doing AO from Thailand. It says so in his thing. All aboard. Come on, it's 35. Let's all go. I don't know if he is in Thailand. I think he's back home now. The stream looks like he's back home, so. Is that everybody? Join for the raid age. Is that everybody that wants to go that's going? Not everyone's cup of tea. Okay, fair enough. Right, I shall leave it there and I shall just send you over to Scott. And have fun, everybody. I will see you tomorrow for the Aliens event. Thank you all for the gifted subs. Much appreciated. Thank you for the resubs. Some of you there in double figure, you know, 20, 30, 20-odd months. Nuts. So, yeah, thank you all very much. And the new follows. Won't be there for the event. No, never mind. Right, goodbye all. It's counting down. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye!